All right, so today I got to pick up from Nike. This is one that happened on a quote unquote restock, and it's kind of a discussion point that I wanted to talk about a little bit because, I mean, technically, is this a restock? I don't really know. But regardless, it's a colorway that I'm excited to get in hand and in person just to see how it is. And we'll show you guys this, and let's go ahead and get into the video. Hey, what is going on, guys? Hats here. Hopefully you guys are having a good day out there. Thank you guys for stopping by and watching. If you guys are new to my channel and you guys enjoy the content, please consider subscribing. And for all those people that are already subscribed, thank you guys for subscribing. Also, please make sure that you have the notification bell turned on when my videos are posted. If you guys want to get some fancy acrylic cases like this guy right here, Looksee is a company that I'm working with right now, and you can get these for 10% off of their price. My link is in the description. If you guys use my link, it gives me some street cred with the company and lets them know that you guys use my link. But these cases are super ultra premium, very expensive, but definitely very premium. And when you get these in person, you'll realize that these cases are the best quality cases you'll probably find on the market. That's saying a lot, but again, they're like really expensive. Anyway, check these guys out. So I have these sitting in the other corner over here because they don't frankly fit on my sneaker wall. These are the 180 Forces David Robinson pumps. This is an original pair from like 91, so it's crazy that we're not seeing too much crazy crumbling on these, and the upper is not too discolored. I mean, it's a little bit discolored here, but I mean, honestly, not bad. A really nice looking pair. Definitely one of my favorite pumps out of the three that Nike's created. And so mine sits nicely in this little container right here. So these have a drop fronts, and then they also have drop side versions on their website. So feel free to check those out in the description. Again, save 10% with my code and my link in the description. Getting right to these though, we have that purple metallic lid with a Nike box on here. And here we have the metallic purple Air Jordan 1s. Some people probably wonder why it's a Jordan 1 and it literally says Nike on the tongue. But obviously, for those that didn't know, Nike created Jordan Brand, and Jordan Brand split off on its own around the Jordan 8 era, I guess. The Jordan 7, I think, was the last ones that had like internal branding with Nike Air. It could be wrong. Any which way, Nike is still an integral part of Jordan. It's just its own entity, and Jordan Brand headquarters and Nike headquarters are on the same campus. And fun fact, the Jordan Brand employees actually used to not work in the Michael Jordan building. They actually worked in the Jerry Rice building. And then eventually they did migrate over to the Jordan Brand building. Just obviously makes more sense. But yeah, I remember back then I would go visit people in Jerry Rice and stuff that worked at Jordan. Any which way, here is the shoes. Love the box. First of all, the white and purple definitely pops off. And the metallic purple is nice. It says on the box, Women's Air Jordan 1 High OG. Size 11, which is a men's size 9.5. Retail is 170. White court purple is the colors on the box. So this shoe is definitely one of those ones that I was interested in, missed out on at retail, and so I went on to the Nike app, not just sneakers, but the Nike app, and then they had a restock of a handful of different Jordans. And honestly, I was late to the party. I missed it. 20 minutes later, I was checking these out, and I was like, wait a minute. These were still in my size, so I scooped them up. But they had a couple other ones that ended up restocking as well. We'll talk about the restock stuff in just a second, but just a general overview of the shoe. It's quite simple because mostly all of this is a white upper. As you can see, it's a white leather upper. It's kind of that tumbled leather on here. The main difference between these and the normal Air Jordan 1 High Retro OGs is the fact that this has a leather tongue. So most of them have like that nylon tongue. And then on the flip side of the tongue, it actually has a satin liner, which is a nice plus, as well as a satin kind of liner on the inside of the shoe. So definitely kind of a premium feel just from that alone. You have the Nike Air branding and the purple on the tongue here. And then you have the metallic purple around the collar of the shoe. Definitely kind of like a patent leather purple, and that same material on the swoosh of the shoe. You have a white midsole and then a purple outsole. So that's pretty much it, man. You have a purple insole with a white Nike Air on the inside as well. And then the Purple Wings Air Jordan logo on the side of the shoe. So pretty cool looking colorway in my opinion, and definitely one that I wanted to get in the collection. And considering I was able to get it at retail on a restock, I was like, might as well. But let's talk about this fateful restock. Is it really a restock, and what is Nike really doing? I know there's been a lot of talk with Nike and Jordan and what they've been doing with the sneakers app, and I saw some tweets here and there talking about how Jordan Brand is like worried about competitors like New Balance and stuff. They want to try to figure out a better way to strategize getting the products in the right hands or whatever. I don't even know what that necessarily means. Anyways, I found that article from Complex Sneakers. It said Nike fears it will lose consumers over sneakers hype machine. One slideshow in the meeting that said global numbers of sneakers app users increased by 57% the last year. That slide puts overall demand within the app at 1.69 billion. The same slide said that the demand with sneakers went up 70% versus last year that went up, which only meant 7% of the demand in the last year. Nike previously satisfied a bigger portion of the demand. Presentation puts that same number at 13% for 2019 and 2020. And all this is basically saying is that the demand is not being met from the sneakers app, which obviously we already knew that. And I don't think that that's anything new to anybody. Like, they on purposely create lower amount of production numbers than they should because they want to have that hype culture in the mix. The downside is when you have all the bots and stuff eating up half of the product. Now, I know that the 50 was supposedly one of those situations where most of the shoes didn't go to bots, which I have to say that a lot of people hit on the 50. Their algorithm of who actually they decided to hit on is BS. But at the end of the day, there's definitely a lot more people that hit on the 50 dunks than most of the other Jordan releases and sneaker releases, especially in limited edition quantities, have normally hit. Also, they had 50,000 pairs supposedly drop on the app, 10,000 per color. And so each of the shoes is still limited to only 10,000 pairs, which sounds like a lot, but not when you have millions and millions and millions of users. Now some of those users may be bots. Obviously, they don't really know that because of the way that they structure their app. Anyways, that's one way of Nike saying, hey, we got to make more products so we can make more money. Which I think is obviously what they want to be doing. They want to kind of saturate the market a little bit. Again, potentially with some of these more limited drops. I feel like it's kind of like the wolf in sheep clothing sort of thing that we're seeing from them, of like them going, oh yeah, we got to create more stuff so you guys can have more stuff. But really, I mean, they're on the other side of it going, we can make a lot more money from a lot of this stuff. We're not making as much money as we should, which is obviously something that we know is going to be happening. Now, transitioning to the conversation that I wanted to talk about here with the restock news. So these were from a quote unquote restock along with a bunch of other retros that they put on the Nike app. But it was a restock of a bunch of different Jordans. And it was one of those things where it was not easy to see. You had to go into an article and embedded down in the article on page 3 or whatever, you could go and see the sneakers available. But is it actually like a restock? I feel like the name restock is just kind of a joke at this point because it feels like it's just held inventory. And for some reason, they're just re-releasing a bunch of held inventory online versus before we used to be able to go to the outlets and find all the stuff at the outlets. I mean, when was the last time you found Jordan Retros at the Nike outlets? For the most part, there's very few and far between. At least in my area, back in the day, there was a lot more. But leave a comment in the comment section. Are there any Jordan Retros at your guys' outlets? Because basically all these sneakers that dropped on sneakers, for the most part, they should have just gone to Nike outlets instead. But now they're just dropping them on the app. Which honestly, I mean, I'm salty a little bit because I love going to the outlets and finding great deals on sneakers, especially if you can get them 20% off of retail when it's a shoe that just came out. But I know from the business side of things, again, Nike All Business, it does make sense because now they have one centralized place where they can not have to ship things to different stores across the US. There's one place where they're warehousing the shoes and they can just drop them on the app and then mass sale everything that's left over. And I think that that's one reason why after a sneaker releases, every single time, no matter what, on Nike sneakers, it says sold out. Even though we know the shoe's not sold out. There's rare occasions where a shoe drops on Nike sneakers and literally nothing sells. And then eventually they just put it on Nike.com. And then like literally within like 30 minutes of the drop. And then you can actually go to Nike.com to buy the products. And how many of you guys have had this happen to you? Because I know it's happened to me on a dozen occasions. There was a sneaker I'm really interested in. No hype behind it, but it's on Nike sneakers. I try to hit the shoe. Strike out. It says I was not selected on Nike sneakers, but then once it goes available on Nike.com, I can instantly buy the shoe. I've had that happen a number of times, and that's a frustrating user experience from the sneakers app as well. Stuff that you know is available, and they're saying that you didn't get it anyway. Like, that's just the worst case scenario. But anyway, circling back to the sneakers conversation, supposedly this week they're going to have a sneakers drop of at least 3 different models. It looked like it was an Air Jordan 4, Air Jordan 1, and possibly an Air Jordan 3 of a restock that's going to be happening on sneakers. So expect to see something like a Jordan Reserve or something where it pops up. It's going to be interesting to see what they end up saying restocked. I feel like because of COVID, there's definitely some shipping delays on a lot of products. So maybe Nike is getting some of the products in their warehouse finally, so they're able to actually sell some of the ones that were already dropped. I'm guessing maybe Lightning Force. Not sure about the ones. There's so many different ones. It could be anything. And then possibly some 3s it looked like as well. But it will be interesting to see what ends up dropping. But I find it funny that Nike's like calling out the sneakers hype machine when they're the ones that created the beast. and it's gotten out of control. And eventually, you know, maybe things will change and people that actually want the sneakers will get the sneakers. I'm older and it feels like the only way that I'm able to get the sneakers that I really, really want is try my luck on sneakers. I mean, I'm definitely going to try, 99% of the time strike out, and then I'm stuck with going to the second market to try to find some of the shoes. Some of the shoes I'll pay at market price, at resale price or whatever, if I have to, if it's a shoe that I really, really want. I don't find too many of those shoes out there that I absolutely must have, though. Anyways, what do you guys think about the sneakers hype machine? Do you think it's something that they created a monster and they're now just trying to make more money from it? Or do you think Nike is actually trying to correct the situation a little bit, try to help the algorithm a little bit more in your favor? It'll be interesting to see what ends up happening. Regardless, we already know we're all going to be lining up for those L's on the sneakers app and just trying to do what we can to get a pair. That's what we have for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and leave your comments on what you guys think about sneakers. Hopefully we'll see you guys back here for some more content. All right, peace guys.